Cursed Daughters, a novel by Oyinkan Braithwaite. Print length, 352 pages. Publication date, November 4th, 2025. When Eben gives birth to her daughter, Aini, on the day they bury her cousin Monif, there is no denying the startling resemblance between the child and the dead woman. So begins the belief, fostered and fanned by the entire family, that Aini is the actual reincarnation of Monif, fated to follow in her footsteps in all ways, including that tragic end. There is also the matter of the family curse. No man will call your houses home. And if they try, they will not have peace, which has been handed down from generation to generation, breaking hearts and causing 3 generations of abandoned Faladun women to live under the same roof. When Aini falls in love with the handsome boy she saves from drowning, she can no longer run from her family's history. As several women in her family have done before, she ill-advisedly seeks answers in older, darker spiritual corners of Lagos, demanding solutions. Is she destined to live out the habitual story of love and heartbreak? Or can she break the pattern once and for all, not only avoiding the spiral that led Monif to her lonely death, but liberating herself from all the family's secrets and unspoken traumas that have dogged her steps since before she could remember? Cursed Daughters is a brilliant cocktail of modernity and superstition, vibrant humor and hard-won wisdom, romantic love and familial obligation. With its unforgettable cast of characters, it asks us what it means to be given a second chance and how to live both wisely and well with what we've been given. The White Octopus Hotel by Alexandra Bell. Print length, 355 pages. Publication date, October 28th, 2025. Have you traveled a long way? She asked carefully. A smile twitched at the corner of his mouth. Well, yes, he said slowly. Yes, you could say that. But it was worth the wait. London, 2015. When reclusive art appraiser Eve Shaw shakes the hand of a silver-haired gentleman in her office, the warmth of his palm sends a spark through her. His name is Max Everly, curiously, the same name as Eve's favorite composer, born 116 years prior. And she has the sudden feeling that she's held his hand before, but where and when? The White Octopus Hotel, 1935. In this Belle Epoque building high in the snowy mountains, Eve and a young Max wander the winding halls, lost in time. Each of them has been through the trenches, Eve through a family accident and Max on the battlefields of the Great War. But for an impossible moment, love and healing are just a room away, if only they have the courage to step through the door. Simultaneous, a novel by Heisserer. Print length, 279 pages. Publication date, October 28th, 2025. From the Oscar-nominated screenwriter of Arrival comes a phenomenal speculative thriller about a federal agent and a therapist who team up to stop an otherworldly killer. Federal agent Grant Lukather works for an unknown Department of Homeland Security called Predictive Analytics. They look for patterns in tips and chatter to prevent a terrorist event before it happens. One of these calls, about a possible explosion in New Mexico, leads Grant to a case with unimaginable consequences. He meets Sarah Newcomb, a therapist who uses past life hypnosis in her treatment, but has recently stumbled upon a phenomenon that seems to defy logic. Grant follows this thread to another crime, a copycat killer case in Colorado. With the help of one of Sarah's patients, they embark upon an investigation that spans multiple states, timelines, and consciousnesses. With limited time and only a tenuous grasp of how this phenomenon works, the unlikely trio are in a race for their lives, past, present, and future. Full of thrilling reveals, stunning plot twists, and a mordant sense of humor, Simultaneous is a mind-bending, one-of-a-kind thriller by a true genre star. The Traitors Circle, the true story of a secret resistance network in Nazi Germany and the spy who betrayed them by Jonathan Freedland. Print length, 461 pages. Publication date, October 28th, 2025. From the New York Times best-selling author of The Escape Artist, an extraordinary true story of resistance, heroism, and betrayal. When the whole world is lying, someone must tell the truth. Berlin, 1943. A group of high society anti-Nazi dissenters meet for a tea party one late summer's afternoon. They do not know that, sitting around the table, is someone poised to betray them all to the Gestapo. They form a circle of unlikely rebels drawn from the German elite, 2 countesses, a diplomat, an intelligence officer, an ambassador's widow, and a pioneering headmistress. What unites every one of them is a shared loathing of the Nazis, a refusal to bow to Hitler, and the courage to perform perilous acts of resistance, meeting in the shadows, rescuing Jews, or plotting for a future Germany freed from the Führer's rule. Or so they believe. How did a group of brave, principled rebels who had successfully defied Adolf Hitler for more than a decade come to fall into such a lethal trap? Undone from within and pursued to near destruction by one of the Reich's cruelest men, they showed a heroism in the face of the most vengeful regime in history that raises the question, what kind of person does it take to risk everything and stand up to tyranny? The History of Money, A Story of Humanity by Michael Lewis, David McWilliams. Print length, 403 pages. Publication date, November 11th, 2025. In this fresh, eye-opening global history, economist David McWilliams charts the relationship between humans and money, from clay tablets in Mesopotamia to cryptocurrency in Silicon Valley. The story of humanity is inextricable from that of money. No innovation has defined our own evolution so thoroughly and changed the direction of our planet's history so dramatically. And yet, despite money's primacy, most of us don't truly understand it. As leading economist David McWilliams shows, money is central to every aspect of our civilization, from the political to the artistic. Money defines the relationship between worker and employer, buyer and seller, merchant and producer. But not only that, it also defines the bond between the governed and the governor, the state and the citizen. Money unlocks pleasure, puts a price on desire, art, and creativity. It motivates us to strive, achieve, invent, and take risks. Money also brings out humanity's darker side, invoking greed, envy, hatred, violence, and, of course, colonialism. In the history of money, McWilliams takes us across the world, from the birthplace of money in ancient Babylon to the beginning of trade along the Silk Road, from Marrakesh markets to Wall Street. Along the way, we meet a host of innovators, emperors, frauds, and speculators who have disrupted society and transformed the way we live. Filled with memorable anecdotes and with a foreword by Michael Lewis, The History of Money is an essential, extremely readable history of humanity's most consequential invention. Like Family, a novel by Aaron O. White. Print length, 307 pages. Publication date, November 4th, 2025. It was too much to ask. But sometimes too much is what we ask of the people we love most. Radcliffe, New York, is an idyllic upstate town, nestled in the hills and complete with artisanal bakeries, pottery studios, and hidden swimming holes. Ruth and her wife, Wynne, are living the dream, or Wynne's dream, at least, with their 4 children on their small farm, which is also the bucolic gathering place for their circle of friends. It's a sweet life, but there's a secret at its center, one that not even Ruth's best friend, Caroline, knows. What Caroline does know is that she loves and depends on Ruth, and on the bond between their families. More than anything, she wants her tender-hearted son not to grow up lonely the way she did. Unfortunately, no one can assure her of that, especially not her husband. He just wants things to be easy, drama-free, which is impossible, as he has donated his sperm to his cousin Toby and her wife so that they could have kids of their own. Now those children are asking unanswerable questions. After an unexpected death in their community, all 3 couples are forced to confront the tensions that have long been buried beneath the surfaces of their lives. Richly textured and big-hearted, this exhilarating debut is an unforgettable story of the alchemy of love and loyalty that makes friends like family. Bread of Angels, a memoir by Patti Smith. Print length, 270 pages. Publication date, November 4th, 2025. A Time and NPR Best Book of the Year. God whispers through a crease in the wallpaper, writes Patti Smith in this moving account of her life. A post-World War II childhood unfolds in a condemned housing complex where we enter the child's world of the imagination. Smith, the captain of her loyal and beloved sibling army, vanquishes bullies, communes with the king of tortoises, and searches for sacred silver pennies. The most intimate of Smith's memoirs, Bread of Angels takes us through her teenage years where the first glimmers of art and romance take hold. Arthur Rimbaud and Bob Dylan emerge as creative role models as she begins to write poetry then lyrics, ultimately merging both into the songs of iconic recordings such as Horses, Wave, and Easter. She leaves it all behind to marry her one true love, Fred Sonic Smith, with whom she creates a life of devotion and adventure on a canal in St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Here, she invents a room of her own, a low table, a Persian cup, inkwell, and pen, entering at dawn to write. The couple spend nights in their landlocked Chris-Craft studying nautical maps and charting new adventures as they start a family. A series of profound losses mark her life. Grief and gratitude are braided through years of caring for her children, rebuilding her life, and, finally, writing again, the one constant in a life driven by artistic freedom and the power of the imagination to transform the commonplace into the magical, and pain into hope. In the final pages, we meet Smith on the road again, the vagabond who travels to commune with herself, who lives to write and writes to live. Bitter Honey, an emotional novel of love, forgiveness, and self-discovery spanning continents and generations, unraveling the complex bonds of motherhood and the struggles of identity by Lolá Ákínmádé Åkerström. Print length, 448 pages. Publication date, November 4th, 2025. Spanning 4 decades and 3 continents, Bitter Honey is a story about a mother and daughter divided by long-buried secrets, struggling to understand each other as they forge their own paths, from the internationally best-selling author of In Every Mirror She's Black. 1978. A scholarship draws Nancy from Gambia's warmth into Stockholm's frigid winter. When her friendship with charismatic scholar Lars blossoms into something more, she thinks she may have finally found her place. But there's more to Lars than his charming persona, and Nancy is about to discover the danger of being drawn into his world. 2006. Tina has had her taste of fame as Sweden's sweetheart pop princess, representing her country at Eurovision. But beneath her glittery facade, she's uncertain who she really is. Her mother, Nancy, seems desperate to keep the past under wraps, but will the unexpected appearance of Tina's father, a man she has long thought dead, help open the door to self-discovery? Nancy just wants to protect her daughter from making the same mistakes she did, but Tina longs for the freedom to mess up, knowing her mother will always be there to support her. The two women love each other unconditionally, but can they learn to trust each other as well? This poignant novel delves deep into the complicated relationships between mothers and daughters and delivers a warm, heartfelt story of love, forgiveness, and women finding their voices. The 11th Hour, a quintet of stories by Salman Rushdie. Print length, 249 pages. Publication date, November 4th, 2025. Rushdie turns his extraordinary imagination to life's final act with a quintet of stories that span the 3 countries in which he has made his work, India, England, and America, and feature an unforgettable cast of characters. In the South, introduces a pair of quarrelsome old men, Junior and Senior, and their private tragedy at a moment of national calamity. In The Musician of Kahani, a musical prodigy from the Mumbai neighborhood featured in Midnight's Children uses her magical gifts to wreak devastation on the wealthy family she marries into. In Late, the ghost of a Cambridge Don enlists the help of a lonely student to enact revenge upon the tormentor of his lifetime. Oklahoma plunges a young writer into a web of deceit and lies as he tries to figure out whether his mentor killed himself or faked his own death. And The Old Man in the Piazza is a powerful parable for our times about freedom of speech. Do we accommodate ourselves to death or rail against it? Do we spend our 11th hour in serenity or in rage? And how do we achieve fulfillment with our lives if we don't know the end of our own stories? The 11th Hour ponders life and death, legacy and identity with the penetrating insight and boundless imagination that have made Salman Rushdie one of the most celebrated writers of our time. The Everlasting by Alix E. Harrow. Print length, 309 pages. Publication date, October 28, 2025. Sir Una Everlasting was Dominion's greatest hero, the orphaned girl who became a knight, who died for queen and country. Her legend lives on in songs and stories, in children's books and recruiting posters, but her life, as it truly happened, has been forgotten. Centuries later, Owen Mallory, failed soldier, struggling scholar, falls in love with the tale of Una Everlasting. Her story takes him to war, to the archives, and then into the past itself. Una and Owen are tangled together in time, bound to retell the same story over and over again, no matter what it costs. But that story always ends the same way. If they want to rewrite Una's legend, if they want to tell a different story, they'll have to rewrite history itself. Alix E. Harrow is an exceptional, undeniable talent. Olive E. Blake, New York Times best-selling author of The Atlas Six. An utter masterpiece. I loved every single page. Rachel Gillig, New York Times and USA Today best-selling author of One Dark Window.